I know what you're thinking. Another video by some random dude connecting the universes of two completely unrelated things through extremely loose evidence and a lot of projection by the writer. Insert Sans' Ness joke, point and laugh. How many more of these videos do we need? I get it. But I think I got something here. Yes, my thesis is very strange and unlikely, but I unfortunately have succumbed to my midnight epiphany, and I, regrettably, have to make this video. So, The Seventh Seal is Ingmar Bergman's 1957 seminal masterpiece, about a knight who dares to challenge death. It's probably one of, if not the most, iconic foreign art house films. You might not have actually seen this movie, because only freaks like me watch this stuff. But you've probably seen this bird, or this guy, or the same guy doing this. But, by the way, does that guy not look exactly like Ghostface? Barring, like, the Ghostface face, they are literally the same person, no? Pokemon Fire Red, released in 2004 by Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, are the Generation 3 remakes of the original Red and Blue games. You play as a Pokemon trainer in the Kanto region, and you have to be the best like no one ever was. What's notable about Fire Red is that it's a really easy game, but more on that later. Now everybody's on the same page, here's my take. The Seventh Seal is Pokemon. Let me explain. Firstly, that title, it's a bit of a lie. Okay, it's a lot of a lie. No, I am not saying that the world of the Seventh Seal is in any way actually connected to the world of Pokemon, because duh. What I am saying is that the story of the Seventh Seal is exactly like the story of a playthrough of Pokemon. But that still is a lie.
Liar!
A regular playthrough of Pokemon is nothing like the Seventh Seal. But there is a type of playthrough that is. That, of course, is the Pokemon Nuzlocke. Essentially, a Nuzlocke is a playthrough of a Pokemon game, but with 3 core rules. Number 1, you can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter on each route. Not that important to this video. Number 2, you have to nickname each Pokemon. Pretty important for this video. And number 3, the most important rule. If a Pokemon faints in battle, it is dead, and you can't use it for the rest of the run. I have done 1 Nuzlocke, in the aforementioned Fire Red. Remember how I said Fire Red is baby easy? Well, not if you're playing a Nuzlocke. Suddenly, every battle is a fight for you and your little critters' lives. You can't just sweep the game with your starter and a copious amount of potions. You have to strategize, especially if you hate fun and decide to handicap yourself with a bunch of extra rules. It can get to the point where every battle essentially becomes a chess game with death. A chess game with death. Now you see the vision. In The Seventh Seal, the main character is literally playing chess with death. He loses the game, and the film ends with death presumably killing him and all the friends he made along the way. The ending of The Seventh Seal is like if, hypothetically, you enter the water-type gym with the fire starter. Because, hypothetically, Charizard is really f***ing cool. And, hypothetically, you're under-leveled. And, hypothetically, Misty Starmie wipes the floor of the entire team. Hypothetically, of course. Both stories play the exact same. A slightly overconfident person challenges death to a chess game, loses, and him and all his friends get sent way down Hadestown, way down under the ground. Okay, that's enough from you. And that's my theory. A shitty theory. Thanks for watching. Go like and subscribe and see my next video when Tom Nook became the Wolf of Wall Street and did a shit ton of drugs. Is what I would have said, and probably should have said to get this video over with. But that's an unsatisfying conclusion. Yes, it was fun to make that connection between one of my favorite films and one of my favorite game franchises, but simply putting the square peg in the round hole is not that satisfying. There is no point in just slapping the two together. You need thematic glue to get them to stick together. Remember that Sans' Ness theory I made fun of? It's a bad theory. Complete nonsense if you think about it for more than 1 second. And it is embarrassing I believed it for so long. But if my theory is all paper, no glue, the Sans theory is all glue, no paper. The theory is bogus, but thematically, I think it paints an interesting portrait of futility when faced with insurmountable odds. It turns Ness into Sans into Sisyphus, a being who gave up lugging the rock around to make shitty bone puns all day. While Sans is definitely not Ness, if he were, I think the story of this transformation that the video posits works at telling a story. It's why, I think, the theory still thematically holds up, even if, well, everything else doesn't. And for my theory, I found the glue. Both the Seventh Seal and a Pokemon Nuzlocke portray death near identically. I already made the bad comparison with the chess game, but the reaction to a potential grim fate is kind of the same. Fear is omnipresent throughout the 7th seal. Death may look like Ghostface, but he's a hell of a lot more terrifying. The fear of death is the cloud that surrounds all the characters. How fear inspires doubt, violence, and, just like Sans the goddamn skeleton, nihilism. Fear also inspires in a Pokemon Nuzlocke. From personal experience, I found battles much more nerve-wracking than my usual game plan of click one move 5 times. A lot of second-guessing, a lot of plays made out of panic, and yes, a lot of playing around the crit. Both experiences are defined by fear. I mean, it's only natural media about death involves the fear of death. But need not be afraid, dear viewer. There is a center of joy in the storm of death. The 7th seal is considered a textbook, pretentious, foreign, black and white cinephile movie by just about everybody. And yet, the movie is kind of funny. There's a lot of funny slapstick. It's romantic. It's heartwarming. There's a strong found family undercurrent with the core ensemble, in my opinion. It also has one of the funniest deaths in cinematic history. Like this dude really climbed a tree to escape death, and then he just pulls out this big-ass saw and just cuts the tree down. It feels like a silent comedy scene, and it's instead in this supposedly pretentious movie. Despite the 7th seal being mainly a Debbie Downer movie, there is a lot of fun to be had. Same with the Pokemon Nuzlocke. Yes, the Nuzlocke makes Pokemon a lot more stressful than a normal playthrough, but at the end of the day, it's still Pokemon. Did you know that Pokemon is fun to play? I still love running around the overworld, finding my favorite Pokemon, sweeping gyms, and catching them all. Despite the threat of death to my Pokemon, I still had fun. Death need not all be doom and gloom. But most of all, both the 7th seal and a Pokemon Nuzlocke show how humanizing death can be. And the 7th seal is far from something like a buddy comedy film, although I would want to see that movie. What I mean is that in the 7th seal, death is ultimately the thing that unites all of the characters. Despite the 7th seal probably being known more for its high concept, the thing I remember the most is the characters. Each and every character is their own fascinating person, and how they react to the fear of death adds so much to their character. But because of the general barbaric nature of the medieval era, they don't exactly mesh well together. The first 2 acts, the characters are basically just at each other's throats the entire time. It's only to escape the plague, aka death, that they willingly band together. Death and humans don't exactly have a good relationship. And yet, the fear of death can bring out positive attributes and even unity amongst people. Granted, the gang aren't exactly BFFs, but it's a lot better than earlier, when a whole lot of them were just trying to kill each other. Through death, Bergman recognized the humanity in every one of these characters. Through death, these wonderful characters are able to be brought together for one Last Supper-esque meal, as they faced off against their shared foe. Similarly, a sense of humanity can be seen in a Pokemon Nuzlocke. Even the Pokemon, these creatures that don't even exist, become humanized in a Nuzlocke. For example, you catch a Pidgey and name him, like, I don't know, Batman. You do that, and you now have an obligation to this bird. He isn't just any Pidgey. He's Batman. He's your Batman. He's the only Batman you're gonna get, and if Batman dies, it's your fault. Nuzlockes inherently create more of a connection to your Pokemon. Every Nuzlocker gets attached to their team, and every Nuzlocker has to reckon with the death of one of their favorites. And I'm no special snowflake. Let me tell you the tale of my Dodrio, regrettably named Hitler. Look, I recognize it was a tasteless joke, but it was either him or my Vaporeon, okay? I lose either way. Now, I had never given an ounce of thought to Dodrio. I forgot he was even in the game. But I needed a bird to use Fly, so I wouldn't have to do an average cross-country practice all over Kanto. And since all of my birds were dead, I had to use him. And the more I used my German bird, the more I grew attached to him. The more battles he won, the more I started to enjoy Der Fulcher. He slowly but surely became one of my favorite team members. And when he met a grim fate at the hands of, something. Okay, look, I didn't record any footage of the run, except my final E4 team and this. Yeah, I definitely have my priorities straight. But when he died, I felt that in my soul. I had just killed Hitler. Not only did it leave a gaping hole in my team, his death left a gaping hole in my heart. I actually felt sad when Hitler died. Okay, I really should not have named him Hitler. I am very sorry. But that's what death does in a Nuzlocke. Each and every member of your team, even the Pokemon you forgot existed, even the Pokemon you wish you forgot existed, Even the Pokemon named after a notorious fascist plural because I am a deeply unfunny person, becomes important and worth saving. The bird, not the fascist. All Nazis must die, etc., etc. The Nuzlocke humanizes the Pokemon, just as death humanizes and adds to the characters and their dynamics of the 7th Seal. Somehow, both the 7th Seal and a Pokemon Nuzlocke come to the same conclusion on death. It's a scary ordeal, but there can be hope, joy, and understanding with the fear of death, especially when it comes to people and creatures you don't know, because no matter who you are, you're gonna die. And that, in a twisted way, unites us all. I mean, it sure as hell united these two.